Great to have you, Arbaaz, in Abu Dhabi. How is Abu Dhabi treating you?
Well, it's wonderful to be here. I just love the UAE and particularly Abu Dhabi, Dubai. It's like places I frequent pretty often. And it's just lovely to be here, just love it. And any given opportunity, I like run to come here and, just have a good time.
That's nice. And you're here for movies, for Yas Movies in the Park event where we're screening DDLJ. Do you love the movie as much as we love it?
Yeah, it's my all-time favorite amongst my top 10 films of all time, Bollywood films. Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge will definitely be part of it. That's the film that we got a great director in Adi Chopra, and Shah Rukh really was, and Kajol were magic in the film. The music of the film was so wonderful, and it was at that stage in our lives where we were all making our careers, so it was so impressionable, and it really moved us at that point in time. So it stays etched in our memory forever. So today when I was here, and I got to know that they're going to be screening it in the open theater. Though I was not like completely related to the movie as such, like not being a part of it in that sense, but I was still so happy to be, here, like kind of inaugurating the movie here.
Yeah, and I could see how crazy all your fans were going. But Arbaaz, we'll come to your acting, producing, director. It's like a career which has like so many different faces. You're like supremely talented, and you did your acting debut from the movie Darar in 1996. From then until now, what do you think has really changed in the industry?
Well, I wouldn't say not much as such, okay, because we were doing, in terms of work, great work was happening even then. I think there are a few changes that have happened. There's a certain amount of professionalism that has come in terms of today. We work with certain deadlines, with a certain amount of commitment, which probably at that time was ambiguous. Movies used to start without really knowing when they're going to end, when they're going to release. So they could be stretched endlessly. Today, that thing doesn't happen. Today, things are pretty much professional. People's dates are like valued. They're taken in time. You even know when you're going to release the film before you even start the film. So there's a certain amount of like parameters at which the industry works. A little more focus on the work that you do. Like previously, actors used to do, directors used to do 3, 4, 5 films at one time. So concentrating on a particular role was not as much, though they were still talented enough to deliver. But today actors get into a role, they kind of put in a lot of effort, they sink their teeth into the character, and directors are doing one film, actors are doing one film, and they're taking that risk. They're putting all their eggs in one basket. Like people used to play a bit safe, so that little safety net is gone. And which is paying off, because now when you do that, you're really getting a lot more benefit. You're getting quality films,
Yeah, absolutely. So out of all the films that you have acted in, which one has been your most favorite by far?
Well, for obvious reasons, Darar is very close to my heart because that is my first debut film. That's what got me into recognition and got me more work. But Pyar Kiya To Darna Kiya is my all-time favorite. I like the character that I played in that. Subsequently, then films like, Hello Brother was also fantastic. Then in movies where I kind of felt I put in a lot of effort and worked was like films like Maa Tujhe Salam and, for that matter, Fashion. And then came a series of films like Malamal Weekly, Halchal, and then Dabangg came along. So where I played the character of Makki. So this has been a interesting graph for me as an actor,
And Makki's character was very, very different, and we loved watching you in that character. How was it acting in that movie, playing Salman Khan's brother in the movie? How was that?
Actually, it so happened that when Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na had released and Sohail and me had played a cameo in the film, that cameo that I played was Abhinav Kashyap, who directed the first Dabangg. He had seen me in that and he had liked me, and when he was actually casting for Dabangg, he had already seen me as Makki in that. So when he came to narrate the film to me, he wanted me to play Makki, and I asked him, why me? So he was like, because I saw that comedy flair that you had in Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na, which has not been exploited, and I want Makki's character to be comic, but not in a way he's attempting, but he's like really funny just by being himself. And the situation makes him funny. So I said, great. So there is where I felt the comic timing or the comedy happened. So in films like even Freaky Ali and all, I kind of enjoyed playing comedy. In fact, comedy is one area which I have not really enjoyed, but I've not been able to really do much. I've done like, Malamal Weekly and films like Freaky Ali and all that. But I've been more known for the serious or the straight jacket
Negative
roles or
roles
the
also.
negative or the grey shade roles.
Yeah.
But I really want to do like a hardcore, like a comedy film, yeah.
Nice. And then you went on to directing Dabangg 2. Now tell us your biggest challenge in terms of direction.
Well, firstly, since I was taking on a very hit franchise, so there was already pressure that, will I be able to live up to, and it was my first film as a director. So obviously there were going to be a lot of, eyes in my direction, like, oh, is it because, he wants to just show that, he's like, or because he's Salman's brother. But that was not the case. I thought about it long and hard. I knew what I was putting myself into. And I knew that if I was going to do that, I had to come up with a lot of preparation and a lot of focus. And I was willing to do that. And that's what I did. And so right from this, getting a new script for Dabangg, the music, the casting, the locations, everything, I had to really work at it, get a good technical team. And I had obviously a know-how of, filmmaking, in the sense, because I've been a part of a film family. I've been working on films for over like 20 years. I started my career as an assistant director. So it was not something that was alien to me. It was just a matter of building confidence. It's like, okay, you'll be able to do it. Because there's always pressure. You're coming to deliver from a hit franchise.
Yeah.
But very early into my schedule, the first day when I finished my first shot, when I called start, sound, camera, action, and it happened and there was an okay, I said, man, I'm fine. I've been baptized by fire, because the first day, Salman, I had done a bit of like storyboarding and all that stuff, and I managed to do all those 40 shots that I had kind of done. And when I finished that day, and it was like a very, very fruitful day for me, I was like, you know what? And I'm done now. I think I can do this without any problem. And when you work with Salman, sometimes, Salman can, put a lot of, maybe change things around at times, like, ask you to do something differently. And you have to be prepared to take on that challenge and do it. And that is quite exciting, because there's a lot of spontaneity that happens. And I felt I was baptized by fire at that time,
Superb. And now we are all looking forward to Dabangg 3, which is being directed by Prabhu sir, which is amazing news.
Yeah.
And Dabangg 1 and 2 have had great music. What can we expect from Dabangg 3?
Well, you can definitely expect good music again because Sajid Wajid, understand the movie, they understand the demand of the character, and they've always done a great job, and, they are very talented. So I'm not too worried about getting good music. I think music will be fine, the action will be fine, the choreography will be fine. We've got somebody like Prabhu to look after it. We've worked on the script, we are happy with the script, and everything else will just fall into place. I'm not thinking too much. I just know that all the entire team has to do is to do a sincere job, and that's it's such a loved franchise. People have got such a loyalty towards the character Chulbul Pandey that we will hopefully not let them down. We'll probably give them something exciting.
Absolutely. There was just one question more on my mind about Dabangg. जब आपने Dabangg 2 direct की, so the part where Dabangg 1 ended was like we expected Chedi Singh's brother to come back and take revenge, which didn't happen. So why was there a change?
It's a long story. Maybe this interview will be able to handle it. My initial script, which I worked on, I had Chedi Singh's brother come. When the film starts with that, actually, it's interesting. But unfortunately, Sonu could not do that film, so I had to rewrite that portion all over again, and that's how the little change happened. But there was that we had touched that area like you had spoken about. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll talk about that long story some other time. Well, thank you so much, Arbaaz, for joining us here. It was lovely talking to you and knowing so much about you.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoy your stay here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.